Alright guys, now we're going to set up our control rods for the elevator. Okay. There's 6 wooden pegs. Actually there's 12. 6 for each side. One set for the elevator, one set for the rudder. And what these are, they're different heights from 1 to 6, so that keeps this push rod straight and tight, because it's a long, lightweight push rod. They want to keep everything as light as possible, but this push rod will flex if it didn't have some kind of holders keeping it straight. So what I like to do is go ahead and put all my pegs in from 1 in the front to 6 in the back, and there's a little, there's like a step at the bottom of each peg. There's some pictures, you can look at it. Basically that step stops these things from going too deep. Okay, it's kind of like a register tab. So what I do is I kind of just keep them on the carbon fiber and work my way front to back, and I just take welders and I stick it right in the hole like that. Just kind of fill my hole up a little bit with it. Go to the next hole. Okay. And I'll put these first 4 in place. You don't want to get them twisted because you don't want friction against this rod. You want them all to be, parallel, so the rod moves nice and easy front to back. So what I'll do is I'll just push them in and stick them out a few times like that. Alright, and then I'll finish up the last 2 in the back. Just pop the rod out, move it away from the holes. Stick some welders in there, and then stick my peg back in. Push it right down to the stop. I'll just go in and out a few times with it. Make sure it's all down in the hole good. And I'll look down them, make sure it's all lined up and nothing's crooked and causing drag against the push rod. Take a step back and eye down it, because you don't want it to go like this, which you can do, and just get it nice and straight. Just eye straight down the line, and when they look perfect, you're good to go. We'll do that to the other side after this dries, and that's how you install your push rods or your control rods for your elevator, and your rudder will be next. Okay, on the rudder it's the same thing as before, except instead of having the pegs vertically, they'll be horizontally. We're going to be starting one. There's the rudder servo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Get them in, line them up. Remember that ledge is where they stop, that little lip on each wooden peg. Pull about 2 or 3 of them out. Okay. And then just put some glue in the hole. 1, 2, 3. And just put them back in there. Okay, now I just kind of pull it back in and out a little bit, get that glue smashed around a little bit. And then I'll pull my other 3 and do the same thing. Okay. Smash some glue, glue, glue. Okay. Work it in and out. Alright, and now we're going to look down it and make sure everything's in line, and make sure they're all pressed up against the fuselage. Make sure nothing is out of whack here. Make sure everything's lined up really nice and straight. Let that stuff dry, and we'll move on to the next step.